Dandavad Pranam Maharaj. Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji.
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.
Dandavad Pranam.
We got Santa Claus here today.
How are you, Maharaj?
I'm okay, thank you. You look healthy and happy. Very cold there today?
Yes, Maharaj. Cold, raining.
Raining also, huh?
Mm.
You're inside. Do you have to go outside?
No, inside car park only.
Okay.
Not going outside.
Okay, good. At least that's good.
Just one hour, one time I want to go petrol.
Okay.
I want to go around all the car park. Then
I don't know if anyone will come today, huh? They're all busy with Christmas.
Maharaj, Yesu Krista born December 25th.
25. Huh?
But some people telling there is no proof.
No what? No proof.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how they came to that day.
That's only some Christian, they don't celebrate on 25th
Yeah.
December.
Why is that so blurry?
It's supposed to only blur the background.
Oh. We'll wait a little while to see if somebody else wants to come. What was that? Oh, Dr. Sahu. Oh, just punched up in the back. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I feel better.
Dandavat Namaste. Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavad Pranam.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad.
आप कैसे हैं?
जी ठीक है जी, आप कैसे?
How are you, Maharaj?
I am good, doctor. I'm okay.
How is everything there?
It's very nice, very happy. We have Santa Claus here today.
Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. And how is the cold there? How is your health?
Yes, I'm okay. Just very cold. Today the weather is very cold.
Yes. But
And
you
no-
should wear jacket. You should wear warm clothes more.
Uh,
Even in Delhi, the temperature is really very, it's also extremely cold here.
oh yes,
Yes.
what temperature now?
Temperature today must be 8 or 9.
Oh,
For us, it's very extremely cold. We are not
yeah, that's very cold for Delhi.
That's 46.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Uh,
Dr. Sahu, are you coming from a conference? Your background said waves.
Yes, actually, I don't know. That's why I'm not opening because, yes, I'm coming from a conference. Actually, I presented a paper there, Wider Association for Vedic Studies. I'm a member there. Okay, so there one seminar, international seminar is going on for last 3 days, and they said that you have to put this background. So I am trying to change it. I don't know how to change it. So
Srila Shanta Maharaj has given many talks at the Waves Association in Texas and also places in India too.
yes,
But if you want to change your background, you just you go to the top right corner of your screen and click the 3 dots.
yes.
Uh,
Then
well, it'll be different because you're not hosting. Okay.
so should I say change choose virtual background?
Yeah. Yeah. You see?
Okay. It's- Again, my college background is coming. So which one I should say? Matlab general?
Yeah, it should give you an option to have no background also.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I got it. Yes. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I managed to did that. Thank you. Now it's now the original one. I'm happy. Actually, just now this seminar got over by 11 o'clock. Okay, so and I was talking to one of my friend about certain projects which we are likely to start on Indian philosophy, some writings on Indian theories of consciousness. So I was talking to one of my friends. He's from Daulatram College, and so I was talking. Then I saw the time is already 11:30. So I was trying to say that I have another program, but she was talking and talking. So finally, I said, "Yes, I'll speak to you tomorrow." then I was little late. So it was 11:38 I joined.
Very nice. We're happy you could join us.
Yes, I always like to listen to you because many of my ideas got clear from listening to you. So whenever I used to get time, I used to listen to you, and I'll also, because I have taken so many things which is not required, but I have taken, and I said, people ask me, I cannot say no. That is the main problem, and that's the reason why I'm so many things, but not completed. Also able to complete one project, and also I'm teaching unnecessarily 3 value-added courses I have taken, thinking that I'll change the mindset of the young mind, those who are in stress, anxiety. So what I listen to you from you, I used to share with them little bit, not much, but whatever little bit, and they also like. So so in a way, so many things I have taken myself, so I don't get time. So also family responsibilities that I cannot avoid also. I have one daughter, so she's a small one. So and so I used to cook and take care of the household thing. Then after 9 o'clock, I start reading or doing my academic work. So I used to sleep around 12, 1 every day, 2 sometimes. So that's how life is.
What is your daughter's name?
Subhadra Gauri Das. She born on Rath Yatra car festival. And that's why my husband gave the name Subhadra. And as I was telling you that I, from the childhood, I used to worship Lord Shiva. And then I gave the name Gauri. So her name is Subhadra Gauri. So
Very nice.
Krishna, last Jagannath's sister is Subhadra. So so she was born on that Rath Yatra. So her name is Subhadra, and Gauri because I used to pray Shivji. So that way we said, because she born after a long time, after my 10 years of my marriage. So that's why I thought she's a product of God. So I have nothing to do. So they can protect her. So she is now 12 years. So complete. She's class 7 and is going to complete. And she's a lefty because somebody told me when I was pregnant, somebody told me to worship Tulsi and eat from the left hand. So I did that. So, and she is a lefty. So that is, and but she understands many things. So I have a small family, my husband, me, and she. And my parental, everybody stays in Odisha. Mother-in-law family and my family. All of them are very like ritualistic because my mm, husband side, they worship Vishnu. They have their own temple. They are Brahmins and they have their own temple, Krishna Mandir. My father-in-law established. So in front of their house, they have constructed that temple, and they are Vaishnavites. They worship Vishnu, and my family is a kind of mixture. They also worship Vishnu, and all the rituals they followed, and mostly in Odisha, Jagannath is famous. So yes, that is how it is.
Oh,
Believe on God that way.
Krishna has arranged everything for you.
Yes, I left everything to God, and these days to you also I have. So I have faith on strong faith on many positive things, and certain things I believe that it is not in my hand. So I just left it everything to God. So that way, and surrounded by many good people, uh, positive people, and that's what I have never faced. So I stayed 30 years almost in Delhi. So I have never faced any problem, and I don't create problem for others, and also uh, nobody creates problem for me. So it's a kind of mutual. As much possible, I respect people, whosoever it is, whether teaching, non-teaching. So they also respect me. So that way, life is good. Not much expectation from anyone. So sometimes emotions comes. I cry, but cry in front of God. So resolve problems, then come back to life, normal life. So that is how life is. Not,
Very nice.
and I met you. It is a blessing for me. In fact, I have a desire to do something, another Ph.D. on Bhakti
Very-
Vedant,
oh,
Bhakti Vedant. But I don't know that.
Maharaj, when she was telling about her daughter being born on Rath Yatra, I'm remembering about Srila Saraswati Thakur. So both Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Srila Saraswati Thakur, the leading gurus of the Parampara who established Gaudiya Vaishnavism in the present day, they are also from Orissa originally. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was magistrate of Orissa in his time in the late 1800s, and his son also, his son is Srila Saraswati Thakur, and when he was a very young child during Rath Yatra, the wife of Bhakti Vinod Thakur was holding the baby Saraswati Thakur, and because he was a magistrate, she wanted to go see Lord Jagannath, and the officials who were managing the cart festival made a path so she could just walk up to the cart with her baby in her arms. And she walked up, and the garland of Jagannath fell off the deity and fell on top of Saraswati Thakur as little baby. And then he became a great acharya of Gaudiya Vaishnavism.
So good to know that.
And also Srila Bhakti Niskam Shanta Maharaj is also coming from Orissa, from Brahmapur.
Yes. By birth, I think most of the Odisha people are very, what you can say, believe on devotion, faith, have a strong faith. And I have seen Odisha people, they don't have much expectation. They're very self-satisfied people. So not like in the metropolitan cities, what you find, people are pseudo intellectualism, egoism, not kind of people you find that they have a faith, they have a trust, and they achieve uh, like not very complicated, complex lifestyle. Actually, their real life they're leading or spending the real life, but we are not. We are just have a mechanical life.
Thank you for telling us about your background, your family. Nice to hear. We are going to, I think, I'm waiting for others to come, but it looks like they may be busy today. So we'll chant the Vandanam.
Yes.
Prayer. Always nice to remember our acharyas. Vandeham Sri Guru
Sri Guru Sri
Kamalam
Kamalam
Sri
Sri Guru Vaishnava
Sri
Sri
Rupa
Rupam Sagrajata
Jatam
Sahagana
Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam
Tam
Advaitam
Advaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam
Sahitam Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Devam
Devam
Sri Radha
Sri Radha Krishna
Krishna
Sahagana
Sahagana Lita
Sri
Sakadvitam
Gaucha Kalvitam Cha
Om Maganati
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya
Chakshuru
Chakshurunmilitam Yena
Tasmai
Tasmai
Sri
Sri Guruve Namaha
Puja
Pujya Sri Guru Varga
Vandita
Mahabhavanditaya
Bhavanditaya Sada
Purva Parya
Purva Parampara
Pracharita Pragya
Prajita Prajya Pramukhritikte
Bhaktir
Nirmala
Nirmala
Nirjarasya
Nivritam
Nirmutam
Santaram
Sammatam
Sadaram
Sadaram
Vande Sri
Vande
Guru
Sri
Gurudevam
Gurudevam
Ananta
Ananta
Shiracharya
Siracharya
Anantasiracharya
Nijam
Gorva Vista
Gaura Vista
Sukam
Supratam
Guru Ganar
Guru Gambhir Vasishta Sambhoshitam
Chintya Chintya
Chinta Chinta Samasta Veda
Samasta
Nipunam
Veda Nipunam
Nirupa
Sri Rupa
Nirupakantarugam
Tantanugam
Govinda
Govindam
Govindam
Ujjalam
Vidam
Varam
Ujjalam
Ratnam
Bharat
Bhaktam
Bhakta Sundaram
Vande
Vande
Vishwam
Vishwagurum Cha Bhagavatvino Bijapadam
Bijapadam
Devam Divyatanam
Devam
Devam
Divyatanam
Divyatanam
Sukanda
Valarka
Ganam
Shriya
Balaraka Chelena Chitram
Nandananda Param
Nandapuram
Puram
Sadeka
Sadaiva
Varanam
Vairagya
Vairagya
Yagya
Vidya
Vidyam
Buddhim
Buddhim
Sri Siddhanta
Siddhanta Nidin Bhaktin
Bhakti Lasita
Sasitam
Sarasvatam
Sarvasaranam
Vande Tam
Netam
Tata
Sattam Madhyeka Sharanam
Shri
Yasviram Sridharam
Shri Siddhanta Saraswati
Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gurunme Gato Vanarya Prabhutta Gadeyo Gaura Sankirtanaya
Sankirtanaya Maya
Mayavaditi Mingaladhara
Bhadra
Muditya
Dinakarate Jivanam
Krishna
Krishna
Prema
Krishna
Prema
Prema
Supadvigan
Sudha
Prabhu
Pradam Prabhum Tampaje
Mo Gorky
Namo Gaura Kishoraya
Soraya
Bhakti
Bhakta
Vinodamurtaye
Murangri Padma
Gaurari Padma Vringaya Radha Bhava Nishevane
Bhakti
Jai
Vinodam
Bhakti Vinodam Sri
Vinodam Sri
Gaura
Gaura
Shakti
Shakti
Swarupakam
Bhakti
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 Shastrajna
Sastrajna
Samrajnam Radha
Radha
Vasasubhanidhim
Sudhanidam Gaura
Gaurudasya
Gaura
Vajrasya
Vajrasya
Vaishnava Vande
Vaishnavandya
Vigraham
Vigraham
Bhagavatam
Jagannatha
Jagannatha
Prabhu Vande
Devam
Devadirda
Devadidam
Vaishnavam
Panchakalpataru
Panchakalpataru Bhavascha
Vipasindhu
Vipasindhu Bhayevacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Tinam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavyo
Namo
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 Namaha
Panchatatvam
Panchatattvam Krishnam
Bhaktarupa
Bhaktarupasarupakam
Bhaktavatar
Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam
Namami
Namami Bhaktasaktikam
Namo Mahavara
Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema
Prema
Pradayate
Krishna
Krishnaya Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Namami
Name Gauravise Namaha
Namaha
Vayatam
Jayatam
Sutto Murli
Suratao
Mama Mandam Tirgati Sarvasya Padambujo Radha Madana Mohana
Mohana
Jayadvrindanayana Kalpadvrundaya Srimad Radhanagara Simhasanastu Srimad
Govinda Devo
Angsivata Tatasita Parshan Venu
Navino Swainir Gopi
Gopinatha
Gopinatha
Sriyestu Naha
Sriyasmaha
Vrindaya
Jai
Jai
Tulsi
Tulsi
Devaya
Devaya
Jai
Jai
Kesavaschita
Kesavasya Cha
Krishna
Krishna
Bhakti
Bhakti
Pradevi
Padadevi
Devate
Satyavati
Namo Namaha
Nafa Mantaguru
Anatva Mantra
Pranam
Guru
Mantra
Gurun
Guru
Bhagavata Pradhan Vyasan Jagat Guru
Vyasana Jagat Guru
Yadevam
Natva
Udhirate
Tato
Jai Saparika Sri Sri Guru Garam
Gandharva Govinda Sundara Padmajastu
Sri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Prabhu
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 Nityananda
Nityananda
Sri Advaita
Sri
Gadada
Advaita Gadadara
Vasadi
Vasadi Gaura
Gaura
Bhaktarinda
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Jai
Hare
Prabhupada Sri Guru Maharaj Sri Guru Dev Srila Acharya Dev Srila Santa Maharaj Ki Jai
Jai
Jai Giri Govardhan Ki Jai
Jai
Jai Samabheda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai
Jai
Glories to all the worldwide devotees.
Jai
Or Premanandi.
Hare
Hari
Hare Bol.
Jai
Hare
Vishnu
Hare
Pai
Bol.
Mahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai
Tell me something.
What is that?
Tell me something. How do you understand dharma, concept of dharma and rita?
How do we
Dharma and Rita.
understand Dharma
And Rita.
and Rita? Rita. Dharma is your personal path, huh? Your personal path, Dharma. What your personal duties are. Rita is more the scriptural injunctions, the laws of the cosmos that we must follow. So we each have a personal path and a universal law. We have to be conscious of both. And doing our duty, Dharma, and in and following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, that are inscribed in the universe by the Supreme Lord Himself. It's not that the world or the universe acts on its own accord. It acts according to the plan of the Lord. So both on a universal and individual level, we have to be conscious that we are properly performing whatever actions we have. But on the transcendental platform, Krishna says, don't worry about all those things. Sarva dharmam parityaga mam ekam sharanam vraja. The highest universal principle is to surrender to Krishna. Give your whole attention to that. Don't worry about the other things. The other things, that's Krishna's responsibility to take care of those. And he says, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I'll take all whatever sinful reactions come from neglecting those duties or higher laws. Moksha Shyami, he said. I will give you liberation from all of those things, violations. Masucha, don't worry. He's basically telling Masucha means don't worry. It's my responsibility. I often give the example, when a man goes to war, or anyone goes to war, they're killing so many people. But when they come home, they're given a parade. They're not considered murderers. They're considered heroes. So sometimes even killing can be something that's rewarded, although we find that to be the most dreadful thing, most terrible thing in ordinary life. But even that, in the performance of a higher duty, higher purpose, even that can be seen as in a glorious way. So the service of Krishna, the surrender to Krishna, that is the most glorious and highest activity that we can perform in our lifetime. And Krishna is encouraging us in the Gita to do that. The highest saints, the most Krishna conscious saints, they put everything in the hands of the Lord. We were talking last week about Madhava Puri. He would not even make any effort to feed himself. Whatever the Lord would provide every day, he would take that. Not everyone can do like that. That kind of surrender. Let's see. Those higher devotees, they can do like that. So this dharma, duty, that is given for those who are under the conditional existence, conditioned existence, who are worldly beings, whose concern is tied up with the worldly activities, the laws of nature and whatnot, the rituals that we perform for sacrifices. All these are given in the Veda. But that's for regulating. Those are for regulating the people who are not already of fixed in their attention, fixed in their hearts upon Krishna. They need to be regulated by outside duties that are imposed on them for the laws of nature. These are external things. When considered from the devotional point of view. Devotionally, if your heart is focused on Krishna, then all these other things are meant for those who are not so focused. But once we become focused on Krishna and our life is conducted in relationship to Him, then that is the perfection of our life already achieved. And those other things are not necessary. I mean, they're necessary to keep everything working properly, but not necessary for the achievement of the highest satisfaction and perfection of life. Is it clear?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
That's my understanding.
True. Because most of the time people relate Rita with Dharma. Okay,
What's that?
and they,
Most people relate with Dharma. Is that what you said?
Most people relate Rita with Dharma.
Huh?
Most people relate Rita with Dharma
Oh, Rita and Dharma.
together.
Now I take them in a universal and singular. I make a distinction between there because Rita, in English we have the word ritual. Ritual. So Rita has to do with that kind of ritual tradition, following certain traditions. Like ethics and morality. What's the difference? Ethics and morality.
And morality. Yes, ethics maybe higher. It is
Ethics. I don't know. I mean, if we can look at ethics as a social norms. Ethics as the social norm. Morality is your personal norm. A moral person will follow ethical principles. So the ethics are the principles, and the morals are your inner principles, own behavior, something like that.
and faith is higher than the ethics.
What is that?
Is faith higher than ethics?
Faith higher than ethics. Yes. Faith is the highest.
Highest. Like
Without faith, there could not be ethics.
like I don't know how justified it is when Kierkegaard says suspension of ethical judgments. Like he said, if you judge the act of Abraham killing of his own son to the god offering, then if you judge on the basis of ethics, then you find he is a murderer. Okay. But if you see on the basis of faith, then he has not done anything wrong.
Uh,
How do you perceive this thing?
Now, what was that? What did you say?
So this is an example Kierkegaard uses to to compare faith and ethics, and the example he gives is where Abraham kills his son as a ritual offering to God. On the basis of ethics, it is not correct, but on the basis of his faith, it is fine.
Yes, something like that. Of course, he did not kill his son ultimately. At the end, before he killed his son, God said, okay, I was just testing you. So he didn't have to kill his son. But he did.
Yes.
He wanted to see if he would put his faith higher than any other consideration, and he did.
Yes, thank you, Maharaja. And sometimes also ethics creates problems also, like understanding faith. If you go through ethics and reason, and provided you miss the lines also. Sometimes it is helpful, and sometimes it doesn't. In fact, faith doesn't need any kind of reason, any kind of argumentation, any kind of logic. And if we go by all this, maybe reaching to the level of faith will be a difficult thing. And that's what I believe, that when you go by faith, simply faith, and there is no rationality, there is no logic, doesn't work here, but there is a understanding that between the god and the devotee, or the guru and the devotee, and that's it works like a miracle. Like, that's what I believe. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
But
we can't understand that. Faith is in the realm of achintya. Huh? realm of achintya. Inconceivable how that works. But God is of that is of the high transcendental nature. So we have to. It may be based on faith, but it's also based on some type of knowledge. A devotee knows there is God, and not just a blind faith. He knows there is God. Had so many different experiences, realizations, that God is not just a blind thing. It's a known existence. And once we know with certainty that God is there, then we can easily surrender to Him, put everything in His hands. So that kind of faith is based upon a knowledge, but it's not the ordinary type of knowledge, based on transcendental knowledge. Not blind. It's not blind.
It's not blind. It's not blind, but it's experiential, as you said. Thing higher than.
And people don't realize that all knowledge is based on faith. Whatever you think you know, whatever philosophy you have, whatever understanding you have, at the root of that is faith.
Yes.
There's no question of getting around faith. Everyone has to have that. Some people have faith in God, and some people don't. That's all.
Yes, that's all.
And
That's true.
then their philosophy comes. And based upon that root.
Like take for the example, even though Cartesian dualism or Cartesian rationalism is trying to prove the existence of God by giving so many arguments, but then ultimately that argument is needed when you convince the ordinary people, or that is, but beyond this argument, I feel that in fact God doesn't need any kind of argument to prove himself or to prove him. And so ultimately I feel that these are the kind of when weak strategy whether philosophers are being practiced over the period of time, giving arguments to prove the existence of God, is certainly a kind of not a very strong analysis, or not a very powerful way of convincing that God is there. Though reason they are giving, that ontological, cosmological, but that's not a kind of argument where you can establish God. I feel
We have to have faith. We have to have faith in reason.
yes.
There must be faith in reason, to use reasoning to try to justify God. But what is our reason? Is that something to have faith in? Our reason is also finite. Is it perfect? Can it ever be perfect? So to put faith in reason may not be the correct thing, the best thing. We must understand that God can be above reasoning. He doesn't have to follow our reasoning. Otherwise, if that were the case, then how he can be God? If he was dependent upon us. We are dependent upon him, our reasoning and everything, and depending upon his grace, or whatever you want to call, his love, his existence. So Krishna says, Bhakti Amam Abhijananti. He doesn't say reason, he says Bhakti. Bhakti. By bhakti I can be known, by love I can be known. By devotion, I can be known. Bhakti mam abhijananti. Abhijananti means I can be known. Bhakti mam abhijananti. Mam means me. So he's saying by bhakti, I can be known. No other process. If God is love, then we can only know him by love, by entering into that love. And we can feel that, yes, this is the highest thing. Which is higher, knowledge or love? Huh?
Love.
What will we get
Love.
more? What will we get more satisfaction from?
The best is love, compassion. So see, the problem is that I always feel that human beings are so, what you can say, there are conditionality, and whatever you do for them, they are never satisfied. But when it comes to God, God has always given you many things without any conditioning. And I feel that sometimes the animals and the God has created such a unique uh, like living beings. So I sometimes feel that better animals are better than human beings. At least they don't have the language. And but human beings, I have said, seen that whatever you do, they are never satisfied. Some people, like those who are not in a kind of transcendental level, but those who are in empirical level, whatever you do, they are never happy. And when it comes to the experience about God, something amazing, you get a kind of peace of mind, and so many things good, positive and good, which is not with the case of human beings, whosoever it is. And there is a conditionality always attached to, and sometimes that also makes you suffer. That
Yes,
is how I see that.
yes,
Yeah.
things get very complicated if we think too much. It
Yes.
gets too complicated. Then we realize thinking is not going to solve any problem. So you stop thinking and you try to look for something else. You look for something else. And that something else is bhakti. There's gyan, karma, gyan, and bhakti. People are busy doing things. That's karma. Getting some results for their activities and doing something and getting some result. That's karma. The other people are interested in thinking this and thinking that and trying to get some result from their thinking. But then there's bhakti. That is higher than both karma and jnana. And even yoga. Yoga is also trying to get some perfection. Karma, jnana, and yoga. But bhakti is above all of them. Pure. Only with love, with the heart, with the feeling of God. That will be the proper process. That's Bhagavad Gita instruction. So we follow Krishna. Bhagavad Gita means Bhagavan's Gita. Krishna's song. It's all Krishna's words are there. He's giving us, singing us a beautiful song, what we should do, how we are to work our life out. All the problems, everything is given there, the solution. In a very simple way, he explains. Bhakti Mama Vijanati. And this way you'll learn everything. Okay, let's read one sloka in the Prapanna Jivanamrita. Ajaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Astatana Sata Sri Srimad Bhakti Rakshak Dev Goswami Maharaja Ki Jai.
Jai.
Prapanna Jivanamrita ki jai.
Jai.
Page,
Jai.
page 178. Upakramamritai, Upakramamritan Saiva Sri Shastra Vachanamritam Bhakta Vyakanamritam Sri Bhagavad Vachanamritam Avasheshamritan Seti Panchamritam Mahaphalam Bhakta Pranaparam Vidyam Vante Smin Parivesitam. Comprised of 5 nectars or Panchamritam, respectively entitled Upakramamritam, Sri Shastra Vachanamritam, Sri Bhakta Vachanamrita, Sri Bhagavad Vachanamritam, and Avaseshamritam, or prelude to approaching nectar, the nectar of scriptural words of nectar from the devotees, words of nectar from the Supreme Lord, and the divine remnants of nectar, the supreme fruit that gives life to the devotees and delights their hearts, has been served in this book. This book is a wonderful, this book means the Prapanna Jivanamrita, is a wonderful treasure house of all these different approaches to the concept of surrender, all these different sources that feed the concept of surrender or explain the concept of surrender. The scriptures, the devotees, the Lord, and even the explanation of this book, and those things that have not been explained in this book, all these different methods, they are given to point out and to clarify what is this process of prapanam, prapana, or surrender. Prapana means surrender. Prapanna Jivanamrita. It means the surrendered. Jivanamrita means the surrendered souls. Jivanamrita is the souls. So Prapanna Jivanamrita is the life of nectar of the surrendered souls. Huh? And in all these places we find that process glorified and explained. In the scriptures, in the devotees' words, and in the Lord's words. And this book is a compilation of all those prophecies. And he says, Sri Chaitanya Hare Swadama Vijayat Chatu Satabdantare Srimad Bhaktivino Nandana Mata Harunya Shaktir Hare Srimad Gaur Kishwarat Kanvaya Gata Sri Krishna Sankirtanai Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Viditas Chapla Vayad Abutalam. With 400 years, within 400 years of Sri Chaitanya Hari returned to his holy abode, a great soul descended in divine succession from Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj as the potency of Lord Krishna's mercy incarnate, recognized as the joy of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and renowned throughout the universe as Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He flooded this earth planet with boundless Krishna Sankirtan. So here, Srila Maharaj is glorifying his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, from whom he has heard about Krishna, about Sharanagati, that has come from the lips of his divine master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And it is with that knowledge, with that gift of mercy from Saraswati Thakur, that he has composed this book about the Jivanamrita. So Bhagyati Strayat Sudurlabham Apya Yasyanu Kampamritam Labodara Mates Tadiya Harunadishan Cha Sankirtanai Sat-Sanga Lavatam Pavartha Paramam Sri Krishna Premamritam Ityesha Twanushilanoda Yama Ihetyagas Shame Shamyatam. A great fortune came down upon me, although it was the rarest thing. I received the nectar of that great soul's mercy through its gracious ordinance by performing Sankirtanan and Sadhu-Sanga. May you fulfill the ultimate goal of your life, Sri Krishna Prem. So now I try to practice this. May I be forgiven for any offense in my attempt. Sri Srimad Bhagavat Padambuja Madhu Swadotsavai Satpadhar Nikshipta Madhu Bindavas Saparito Prastamukat Kunjitai Yatnai Kinsid Iharitam Nijaparak Shreyo Vina Tanmaya Bhuyo Bhuya Ito Rajamasi Para Samlagani Tasam Bhaje. The bees intoxicated in the festival of drinking the honey of the Lord's lotus feet, busily humming the glories of the Lord, drops of honey fall from their mouths, fall and scatter all around. For my own divine prospect, I have carefully collected some of those drops herein, and thus do I worship the dust of the lotus feet, holy lotus feet of those saints, again and again. There, Srila Maharaj presents a very poetic way, a very beautiful poetic way of explaining the mood by which he has, very humble mood, by which he has collected these various references and put them together in the Srimad Bhagavatam to present to the devotees for their inspiration and encouragement and their mercy. Kvantartam Jadati Adi Hidi Tviha Mahotsaha Sadadi Sancharanaya Ye Sanchatra Satam Satirtha Suridam Samsodhanaya Yaishchava Ye Sanchapyadame Kipa Maisubha Atadibir Vanyata Sarve Shambham Atrapad Kamalam Vande Punarvaya Puna. In the preparation of this book, those who have infused vitality within my poor heart, who have assisted in this study, reading, or amendment of the book, who have in any other way contributed toward its production, onto the lotus feet of all those well-wishing God others and good devotees who extended, who may in the future extend the goodwill upon his humble soul, I hereby offer my obeisances again and again. Gaurabde Jaldistu Veda Imite Bhadre Sita Saptami Tatra Shilalita Subodhaya Dine Shiman Navadvipake Ganga Tira Manarame Navamate Chaitanya Saraswate Sabdi Shri Guru Gaur Para Saranat Granta Samaptim Kata. At the charming new temple of the name Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mutt, situated on the banks of the holy river Ganges, at Sri Dham Navadvip, and in the association of the devotees, and the shelter of the lotus feet of Divine Master and the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Dev, this work was completed on the holy Advent day of Sri Lalita Devi, the 7th day of the bright moon of Bhadra, in the year 457, good of the 7th September, 1943. Sri Prapanna Jivanamrita Ave Samritam Nam Dasamo Dhyayaha. Thus ends the 10th chapter of the Divine Remnants of Nectar, Prapanna Jivanamrita. Puri. Okay. So thank you for participating in the study of the Sri Prapanna Jivanamrita. Very important book. Really the first book when Sridhara Maharaj left the association of the mud because of the infighting that was going on at that time. He didn't want to be part of that. So he left the mud and he thought, well, what is the most important thing that I should be remembering, even in the absence of Gurudev, in the absence of the association of my godbrothers? And he said, the most important thing is this surrender. You have your relationship with Krishna through surrender. There's the first principle. Before you can get to Vaikuntha, before you can exceed the boundaries of this universe, material universe, you have to cross the river of Raj to get to the plane of surrender. The gate of surrender is the gate you have to go through in order to even get into the Vaikuntha planets. All spiritual life is based upon surrender. Without that, there is no question of any type of spiritual life. Those who do not surrender are engaged in the exploitation and enjoyment of the material world. So surrender is the primary entrance point to spiritual life. Without surrender, there's no question of spiritual life. That is the ground upon which the whole spiritual world is built. Surrender. So this Prapanna Jivanamrita is the joy, explains the joy, the beauty, the glory of that life of surrender. That life in a world of surrender and of service. That's the world that's beyond this world. The world that's beyond this world is not necessarily in a different world, but it's this world with an attitude and mood of surrender. And then we can understand what is this world, what is Krishna. So this is the central point that he's making in this whole book. And this is the central point he was remembering when, if ever we should be in a situation where without any association, without Guru, this is the main thing, the main point that he learned from his Gurudev, Sharanagati. As Krishna explains in the Gita, Sarvadharma Parityajya Malmekam Sharanam Raja. Sharanam. So, Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya, Asatana Sata Sripad, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhara Goswami Maharaj. Jai Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Maharaj, the Guru Dev, the Charyadev, Srila Santa Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Samadhi Bhaktivinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Premanandi Hari Hari. Oh,
Jai and Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Sripad, Bhakti Madhava, Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Maharaj
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
Dandavad.
Please stay well, stay warm. See you next time.
Dandavad.